persons in this newscast are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and our other social media platforms.
If they were a laxative, they'd be so powerful you could stand on your head and on the ceiling.
That position would not only be unavailing, but also undignified.
You're listening to Hollywood on Motorcycle Madhouse on iTunes and all major podcasting platforms.
Hey, you guys, how you doing?
You ought to go try to find a brain cell and trying to cheat because you ain't got no trade.
Welcome aboard the show, everyone. How you guys doing over on motorcyclemadhouse.com, Spotify, iTunes, all the rest of you that are listening all over the podcast platforms. And I gotta say hi to my YouTube guys. How you guys doing over there on YouTube? Today's show, we're going to be covering a bunch of stuff right now. We're going to be covering a couple stories on the Pagans, Hells Angels, the whole 9 yards. But first, don't forget to subscribe to all the platforms. Hey, I want you guys to go over to the YouTube channel in the community section and go check out what we just posted. Yeah, you're going to see what us creators have to deal with all the time. You know, a lot of time people ask me, where did this go or where did that go? Well, you'll see just why and where it went. Also, over on hooliganbiker.com, I just put out a new article. Don't forget to go over there, check it out. There's an article of what I think a 1%er club is, all that good jive. It goes into some background of the 60s, the whole 9 yards. But how's everybody doing out there, man? I'm telling you, it's freezing here in Northern Illinois. Jesus, it's going to be like a freaking polar vortex again. You know what? I do not know why I continue to put myself through this misery every winter. You know, Northern Illinois has great riding and stuff. Great riding in the frickin' summertime. In the wintertime, you might as well have a frickin' snowmobile up here. But again, you know, I can't even complain about snowmobiles because in December, you can't ride the damn thing. We haven't been getting a lot of snow until, you know, around January, February. But I should really look into a freaking snowmobile. You know, I always heard that the trails are cool riding up there. I know in Wisconsin, they actually got a trail that rides all the way up through the state, man. They got little bars on the side and freaking works. But anyway, let us go into the news for this morning instead of me talking up a storm here. Okay, before we get into the biker news, man, we got to give a huge happy birthday to Chuck Yeager. He turns 97. The Right Stuff, man. If you guys want to check that out, man, that movie, that was an awesome movie to me. But anyway, it shows him breaking the sound barrier, the whole 9 yards. Again, Yeager, of course, was the pilot who ensured that the sound barrier was no longer a barrier. Dude is a legend, man. He was the first pilot in history confirmed to have exceeded the speed of sound in level flight when his bullet-shaped Bell X1 broke the sound barrier at 45,000 feet above the Southern California desert. Happy birthday, Chuck. You rock, man. Awesome veteran and an awesome guy, man. Glamorous Glennis, man. He did it in with that freaking rocket, man. You imagine being hooked to that damn thing in them days, man, not knowing what's going to happen to you. But happy birthday, man. We're going to go over to Times, West Virginia. By God, West Virginia's in the news. 3 plead not guilty in near-fatal assault by Eric Herron out of the Times, Virginia again. Fairmont, 3 of the 4 men indicted for the near-fatal assault of a Hells Angels motorcycle club member at BFS Foods last year in Whitehall pleaded not guilty at their formal arraignments Wednesday in Marion County Circuit Court. Those entering the not guilty pleas before Marion County Judge David R. James were Bruce Evan Davis, 54. He was indicted for conspiracy to commit a felony, attempted murder in the first degree. Jason Edward Harris, 49, last known address they give. Then Fairmont, who was indicted for conspiracy to commit a felony, attempted murder in the first degree. They basically charged them all with the same stuff. Daniel Lester Ryan at 25. James said their trials were scheduled for 9 a.m. April 15th. Harris's attorney, Holly Turkett, said she will file a motion for a reduction in bond, which is at $500,000. Holy cow. Harris questioned the charges against him, but Judge James told him that the guilt or innocent will be determined at the later date. A fourth person, James Cody Biggie, 38, was, then they give the address, who was indicted for conspiracy. Basically the same thing. Will have his formal arraignment at 3:40 p.m. February 18. Police described the melee as a fight between the Hells Angels and Pagans motorcycle clubs at 1:50 p.m. on August 3rd. Let's see here. Reports stated there was a fight, stabbing in Fairmont between Hells Angel Club and Pagans Motorcycle Club, and that one of the Hells Angel members was being transported to Ruby Memorial Hospital. According to the criminal complaint, the men took part in a pre-planned physical confrontation with several other men in the BFS Foods parking lot. I remember covering that story over on, HarleyLiberty.com. Let's see here. Kenneth Murphy of Hilton, New York, was struck with a baseball bat and cut and stabbed with a knife during the physical confrontation. Let's see here. Anthony Shuffle, also a victim, was struck by a silver and gray in colored Jeep, was driven by Biggie, knocking him down, causing injuries to his arms and legs, and was treated at the scene. So, let's see here. Yeah, it looks like it was just a fight. But they're going to throw up all kinds of charges, just try to make an example. West Virginia don't mess around when it comes to the law, man. They like in dark ages still back there. But, yeah, I do remember that. What the hell was the Hells Angels in West Virginia? That's interesting, but, hey, it is what it is. But, again, they're going to be, go through their trials, stuff like that. It'd be interesting to see if the victims testify in this case. Real interesting. Anyway, let's go to the Hells Angels. Team 12 investigates Hell on Wheels. I'll give you a couple seconds of this video.
Hells Angels Motorcycle Club and the clubhouse at 241 Longstreet Avenue, the target of the gunfire. You heard from that door.
Yeah, right when it opened.
It's a little concerning, but you can't blame them, really. I mean, it's like blaming a victim for getting shot at. Do you blame the shooter or do you blame the victim?
Their reputation preceding their arrival and anticipated motor exhaust sounds, known as one of the...
Let's go a little bit forward in this.
$1 million. And looking deeper into city documents, Team 12 uncovered that Church of the Angels, Inc., which is under Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, has purchased 4 properties in total in the Bronx. 3 in Throgs Neck. Those addresses are 11 Hollywood Avenue, 3088 Allen Place, and 3090 Allen Place. And then there's one over on City Island, and that one is 415 City Island Avenue. All acquired between June and October of 2019.
Interesting. Anyway, it goes on to say, after 4 decades, the infamous Hells Angels packed up their Manhattan clubhouse, which we know that one, and relocated to the Bronx. Their presence quickly became known to residents after bullets flew into their clubhouse. That was January 2nd. And then, let's see here. Reveal the Church of the Angels, Inc., which is under the Hells Angels, which I just talked about. And they did purchase more than just the clubhouse over in the Bronx. They purchased other property. Hey, maybe they're into investing, man. Investing in real estate, especially in New York, will probably turn you a pretty penny, man. Rent, all that stuff. Personally, me, when it comes to real estate investment, don't want nothing to do with it, especially that landlord stuff, because your property gets freaking destroyed. You don't know who, yeah, you can do background checks, all that good stuff, but I don't, too much headaches for me. too much headaches. You know, me, I like investing in businesses. You pump up the business and then you flip the business. A lot easier than freaking dealing with real estate. Anyway, we have the Gangster Report. If you guys haven't checked this out, man, it's a pretty cool freaking site. Gangsterreport.com. They got everything from what's going on in the club scene, what's going on in the outfit, what's going on the street. It's a really decent site. A lot of informational stuff on this site. But this one's by Scott Bernstein. Pagans MC chief walks from prison. New Jersey biker power Pitta Fowler back for club's expansion push. Now, you can't confirm that, so, you know, we don't know. The guy just got out of prison and everybody expects him to do this and do that, but nobody knows that shit. Anyway, February 13, 2020, New Jersey's pagan motorcycle club boss Tim Pitta Fowler was released from prison after a decade behind bars for plotting to kill rival Hells Angel club leaders. The 51-year-old Fowler is a U.S. Marine, a former one. Hoorah, man. Awesome stuff right there. You got to give him his credit, man. He did serve our country and served as president of the Pagans Trenton chapter in the 2000s. It's unclear that what role, if any, Fowler will play in the era where the Pagans are actively looking to acquire more territory in his home state. The Pagans' national president, Keith Conan the Barbarian Richter, issued the Blue Wave Initiative 2 years ago. Again, that's a little out there, isn't it? Who knows? That's one thing I can't stand about the media. They automatically assume that that's what's going on, and especially with this kind of coincides with that New Jersey Crime Commission stuff. It's like the Chicago Crime Commission, but the Chicago Crime Commission ain't a legislative body like it is there in New Jersey. That's where they brought a couple pagans up to testify, and they're saying they're this and that, and the pagans just sit there, been quiet, and took the Fifth Amendment the way it's supposed to be. So you got to give them freaking street cred for that, man. That's awesome stuff right there. They just sat there and basically gave them a middle finger and let let them talk the way they want to talk, but you got to prove it. Then they get into the specific targeting parts of New Jersey perceived as Hells Angels turf and other parts of the northeastern U.S. Under Richter's orders, pagans in the region wear an East Coast rocker rather than one that identifies any particular city or state, as is customary in most other clubs' protocol. Now, where he's wrong on that, the pagans never, ever did that. They never put territory. They never did the city and the state thing. I wish they would put that in there. Anyway, there have been 7 new pagan chapters open in recent years. Well, the clubs are expanded, so what's the problem? Pitta Fowler was indicted in 2010 in Operation On the Road Again, along with one-time New York Pagans chapter bosses Jason Roadblock Blair and John J.R. Ibling, charged with conspiracy in a plot to firebomb Hells Angel social functions and personal residences. Fowler pleaded not guilty in the spring of 2012. Blair and Ibling used to run Conan's Riker, Long Island chapter prior to the incarcerations. You know, it's like they're always throwing Conan under the bus. Always, man. You have to have first-hand information before you throw somebody under the bus like this. Man, personally, with Conan, maybe he's just trying to expand the club. The Pagans have always been East Coast. And, of course, there's going to be problems when you got another club moving into that area, man. It's just like Michigan or, other states, Colorado. That people always ask, okay? Hold on. Let me get over here, and I'm going to get into the regular screen view and get off of this part. Okay, you ready for a little rant here? We're back onto the screen. You guys over on the podcast don't even know that, but anyway, a lot of people, and I think I covered this the other day, ask, why can't clubs get along? Well, it is simple. Each part of the country has its own thing. That's why I talk about this protocol stuff is local and at the state level, because it is not the same nationwide. And one of the things I covered in the article over on hooliganbiker.com was that each scene is different, okay? You got the white scene, you got the black scene, and when you try to throw protocol in that mix, a lot of the stuff in the white scene, that protocol that a lot of people talk about, and I'm not bashing on anybody, I'm talking in general, that protocol don't, transfer over to the black set. So a lot of stuff that the black set has does not go into the white set. So think about that for a moment when everybody's talking about protocol, because some of the stuff I hear, I like cringe. I was like, man, that'd never happen here in the Midwest. That's a black set thing, not a white set thing. And, unfortunately, I know a lot of clubs that still, it's closed off, man. But anyway, when you got clubs that are usually traditional, I'm talking going back decades upon decades, man, that they're the ones that been there, they put in the beef, they put in all the work to make sure it's a secure area. They're keeping all the smaller clubs in line where they're not causing problems for everybody. Then you have another one just come in to try to expand. Yeah, there's going to be a hell of a lot of problems. Anybody who tells you that the club scene is all cookies and ice creams and then, the positive, yeah, there's a lot of positives, okay, in the club scene, but do not be fooled. The club scene is hardcore. There's a lot of politics in it, and I can almost guarantee you, I'll bet you a G-note that there's never gonna be peace until people start respecting each other's boundaries, man. That's just like in regular life. You want people to respect your boundaries. It's the same thing with the clubs. So when you look at this story, and it especially bugs me when they throw a national president under the bus in the news, because they know damn well the club can't respond, or, because clubs have this tradition of not responding. And if they do, it's usually off record. But the mainstream media goes and prints what they say. So how could you even know what's going in somebody's mind and print that? Again, they're just using the name and personally, I think they threw the guy under the bus, and, if he wants to expand his club with his club guys, he's going to expand his freaking club. That bottom rocker thing, I think, bugged me the most, because everybody knew that, but, you put out there that, hey, now he's claiming the whole East. The Pagans have always been on the East Coast. And a lot of times, the East Coast is a lot different than the Midwest. The Midwest, I have to say, you're lucky you have, the dominance, you don't have all this mixing of dominance like you do on the East and the West Coast. Everything's pretty much chill. That's why I think the scene's a lot different in the Midwest, and I think not only because I live here, but it's easier to identify with the clubs in the Midwest than it is on East and West Coast, because there's a whole different way of thinking here in the Midwest. People respect each other's boundaries here, and that's why you really don't see, many problems, and I wish that was the case everywhere else, but it's just not the case. It really isn't. So when people ask that question, again, there's never going to be peace unless, some of these clubs stop moving into other people's territories. People wonder, I'd put it this way, and I think I used this example before. Somebody comes into your house and tells you, okay, we're here, blah, 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 but didn't knock. Okay, didn't sit down at a table, didn't do nothing. They just say, well, we're these people, you know, we do what we want. Okay, then you wonder why bombs are going off. You wonder why shots are being fired. You wonder why people are getting stabbed up because you're coming into somebody else's home. Does that make sense to everybody who asks why clubs can't get along? You know what? I wish that it was like The Outfit, you know, where Luciano and all them said, okay, here's the territorial boundaries. Let's set up our commission. Everything goes through the commission. We want to keep peace, so we to do business, and then there's no problems. You know, some clubs do that now. You know, I know a couple of the dominants, they really freaking communicate with each other and they keep it on an even plane, man. But when you have outsiders come in, that upsets the balance. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that's gang. That's gang. Well, you know, you do gang shit, they're going to put you out there like that. But I do understand the flip side of the whole deal, where I wouldn't want somebody coming in my house either, man. You know, that's one thing about me and the show. I like giving both sides of everything. I'll put it out, and a lot of people don't understand when I'm doing it, is, okay, when I'm talking about one certain thing happening, well, it might seem that I'm bashing, but that's the point of view a lot of people who listen to us have. So I put that out there. Like now, how I'm putting out about the pagans, man. I think, you know, personally, you can't throw people under the bus like that unless you have actual knowledge. And people wonder why people won't talk to the press, these clubs. Well, that's why, because they'll take the littlest freaking thing, the littlest thing you say, and turn it into a volcano. A volcano. So, but anyway, happy birthday, freaking Yeager, man. You're awesome. You're an American hero. You set up everything from space flight, the whole 9 yards, by breaking that sound barrier. Let me know your comments in the comment section below. This Sunday, we have episode 13 of season 3 of Motorcycle Madhouse. That's going to be a good one. It's going to be hardcore, and yeah, we'll put it all out there. It will not be on our YouTube channel. Again, check out the community section. You'll see why we don't put a lot over here on that platform, but it will be on the radio, so you to hear that. It's Spotify, iTunes, all the big ones. You guys know this by now. Also, get your daily biker news over at HarleyLiberty.com. BikerLifestyleMagazine.com. If you're into all the, you know, the motorcycles and stuff, we try to keep it right there. Then Hooligan Biker. That's my personal opinion. So with that, I appreciate you guys hitting on the show. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.